past year was the worst year of my life. I experienced betrayal.
First, let's talk about what the CES
and
letter
sadness
is. It's a
unlike
letter that was
anything I've
written
ever
to the
known.
Mormon Church by a man named Jeremy Runnels. It's really long. Now I think it's up to 114 pages or something. And it was just a list of damning questions that this ex-Mormon sent to the Mormon Church.
Do what is right, let the consequence follow, now holds a completely different meaning for me.
It's the CES letter. Have you heard of it? And have you visited that site? This letter, which was written by a Mormon who is no longer,
I desperately searched for answers to all of the problems. The answer eventually came, but it was not what I expected or hoped for.
Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ryan, and just want to state that yes, I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I'm not here to destroy the CES letters or Jeremy Runnels. I'm also here not to tell you what to do or what to believe, but to maybe show you a different opinion on the CES letters and the church essays. So I first came across the CES letters. It was back in 2015. 2016, just before Jeremy Runnels was getting excommunicated from the church, and got my attention for sure. I watched all the Mormon stories back then, and there was a few things I disagreed in the video, but I had to go check it out for myself too, especially with the Book of Mormon, because I always thought the Book of Mormon was true for sure. My first faith crisis was in my teens. I was born into a really awesome family, great family. My mom and dad sacrificed a lot for us kids. My dad, he is a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And my mother, that just passed a couple of years, she was a Jehovah's Witness. We're married for 45 years, and they were a very strong couple, and I have the utmost respect for them. Going back to my childhood, I would go with my mother to the Jehovah's Witnesses one week, then the next week I would go with my dad to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And in school, they were teaching us evolution. And it all got to a point I just had enough of everything. I still believed in God, and I still believed that the Book of Mormon could be true. That I became inactive and went on with life. But so we'll fast forward to first time I seen the CES letters. Like I said, it was about 5 years ago. And how it started me on a road of information and improving things. The internet is one of the best things to happen to mankind. Just full of information. And so I started with the Book of Mormon because I still thought it was scripture. And I started looking through archaeology proof and the similarities of the names of towns that were around where Joseph Smith lived. But I was thinking the Book of Mormon took place in and on the continent of America. So I was thinking, well, shouldn't that be some proof that the Book of Mormon is true? Well, there wasn't a whole lot, but a couple of videos of what archaeologists had found in America, Egyptian-style temples, mounds, a couple tablets, ancient tools. But the biggest thing that I discovered was how through American history, certain places were looted. They were robbed. And these ancient sites were being bulldozed and destroyed for farmland. And for the immigrants that were coming to America, they needed a place to live. So it was almost like through the history they were erasing history. And I don't know, well, I do know now that it was both intentional and not intentionally done. But so that put me on the road to, okay, the Book of Mormon could be very well true. And so maybe there's another deception. And I wanted to find out about the deceptions in the world. Why would things like this be destroyed? I found the Smithsonian, they were destroying bones of giant people that they found in the state in America. There was just my eyes were being opened to worldly deceptions. For the last 5 years, I've been learning how our lives are not normal. How we're living our lives is not normal. I've been learning in how education systems are fake, or our economy systems and currencies are fake. How science and archaeology is fake. And saying that, I'm not saying everything in these categories are deceptions or lies. There's some good, but a lot to do with how people's time and energy are being used for a Luciferian lie. And I can go on and on. I'm going to make more videos, that go into more detail on these concepts and how these deceptions relate to the questions in the CES letter. So I think of how through patience and time and the technology we have today, we are actually given the insight of how difficult it would be for a prophet and apostles to bring forth the gospel of Jesus Christ, and how difficult it was for their families and friends and the people around them. With the technology that we have today, it was absolutely awesome how the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was able to provide us with all the history and letters, diaries that we can see for ourselves of the life of Joseph Smith. So I think this information can help teach us maybe similarities that we don't read or see in the Bible, in the Old Testament, New Testament, Book of Mormon, that prophets' day-to-day lives we don't know. And having Joseph Smith go through all this might give us an insight of how other prophets lived. For example, I like to let's talk about Noah. Noah built an ark. It took him 150 years, and he preached and warned the people for a couple hundred years. And during that time, preaching and building, the people seeing his life, they pretty much started not to believe him because it wasn't coming true. For an example, we'll get Noah walking down the street, and there's a building on the side, and its big sign says pub, and there's a bunch of women in front of this pub. And Noah's walking down, and he decides to go over and preach and warn these women what is going to happen. And as he's doing that, there's other people outside across the street walking by and everything, and everybody knows Noah. And the rumors start that one person has to say, "Oh, look, there's kooky old Noah again. Oh, look, he just came out of the pub, and he's trying to get all those women back to his boat. That dirty kooky man, isn't he married?" Yapers. Oh, I see that. And this is why I think we need common sense with our critical thinking. There's so many things that we really don't know. And the CES letters were questions of 2012. It's 2020 right now. And through those 8 years of patience, time, and technology, those questions are being answered, and more. I want to thank you for watching this introductory video. We will get deeper into understanding and hopefully answering some of the questions in the CES letter next time. Have a great day. Bye.